This show takes place in between the filming of Fred 2, where he was getting kind of old, but it wasn't as noticeable, and Fred 3, where it was obviously way too noticeable how old he was getting. So I didn't like that, but this show was decent. There's some pretty funny jokes. There is a lot of people that get famous in this. Not from this, but there's a lot of famous people in here. We got Ryan Potter, who plays Beast Boy in the new Titans show that has 3 seasons, about to get a 4th. The dude from Smosh is in here. Not Anthony and what's his face, but one of the newer dudes from Smosh. One of the other characters from one of their newer shows, Casey Undercover. There was a villain in that show, plays a teacher in this show. And I think that's about it. There's probably more that I'm just forgetting. But Ryan Potter only shows up for 2 episodes. He shows up for one where he's the only one that claps for Fred. And then, of course, later in the episode, they become friends. He doesn't show up for several episodes. He shows up one last time during an episode that kind of ruins one of the movies. It was Fred 2. Fred 2 shows that Fred thinks that people aren't up late. So he has like this alarm set so he can be up at 11 o'clock at night. Because he thinks that's late. And he's like, nobody's going to be up at that time. And that's how he tries to catch the vampire neighbor or whatever. In this show, he pulls an all-nighter. And he acts like 2 a.m. isn't that bad. It's weird. It doesn't, completely ruin it, but it just feels stupid. Once again, this show is definitely carried by, other actors like Kevin. And Diesel was pretty funny, but he was not in here as much as he was in Fred 2. And I almost thought they replaced him again. Because Kevin was hanging around with this one dude that never talked. And I was like, yeah, they replaced him. But eventually he does show up. Bertha only has 3 episodes that she's actually in out of 24. The rest she's just mentioned in, or they say they're talking to him. Like there's an episode where Bertha calls him, but, we don't hear Bertha's voice actor. We just hear Fred supposedly talking to her. But she only shows up for 3 episodes. I don't think this actor really wanted to be a part of this show. Fred's mom has a few episodes here and there. They actually do something lazy where there's an episode where I think it's near the end, episode 20. Fred's grandma shows up and it's just the exact same actor that plays the mom in a wig. And we actually get one of the same jokes from Fred 2. Fred 2 had that little buff CGI that didn't, age well, and it looks like Fred's face is photoshopped on. Well, in this one, they don't do that, because it's a TV show, so it's a lower budget. They have Fred wear a muscle costume. It's weird. But honestly, I don't see the entirety of hate for Fred on how it's like one of the worst things ever. Fred isn't peak comedy. It's not the best. But there are moments that are genuinely funny in this. Most of it's not very good and hasn't aged well. But I still think the other actors besides Fred did a good job. And that's just because Lucas can't, really be doing acting when his old character is just having a high-pitched voice. But I guarantee if he was on something else, maybe he would do a decent job. But when his whole character is just high-pitched voice funny, obviously people aren't gonna like it and look back fondly on it. But I still think the Fred things hold up just a little bit. Most humor fucking sucks, but there are good jokes here and there. And like I've already said, most of the other actors are really good. So there's one thing I want to mention. This show forgets about Kevin's sister, just like the whole series did. Kevin had a sister in the second movie, and then she was never seen again, never mentioned again, or anything. I think they realized that was a stupid decision and just retconned it. But yeah, that's about it.